From fly fishing waders to medical gowns. I'm Gabby Crevitt, and coming up we'll have the story of how people in the community are stepping up to help those fighting on the front lines of the coronavirus.
An inmate at an alcohol treatment center near Butte wants the state to release him from custody out of fear of exposure to the coronavirus.
We are just ahead of 6:30 back here on your Tuesday edition of Montana This Morning. Caitlin Corbett, Chet Lehman, and Matt Elwell. I haven't been outside yet this morning, but I know I'm going to have to get out there because I want to see that pink supermoon.
This is a good day to do it. Of course, we're going to talk more in depth about that coming up in our main weather segment out on the Billion Auto Weather patio. Temperatures this morning, brilliant. A good day to spend some hours outside. Starting a little earlier today with temperatures into the 30s and 40s for most of the area. We're going to see plenty of sunshine. Not much going as far as moisture is concerned. Beautiful sunrise setting up. Temperatures into the mid to upper 50s for the afternoon today. A slight cool down by tomorrow. We're going to break it all down for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you very much, Matt. Here are some of the latest numbers from the state health department on the coronavirus outbreak in the state of Montana.
There are now 319 confirmed cases in Montana. More than 1/3 of those are in Gallatin County, with 118. 2 in Gallatin County are currently in the hospital. Yellowstone County now has 47. Silver Bow County has held steady at 11 confirmed cases. Madison County is at 9. Park County has 6. 6 people in Montana have died, the latest over the weekend in Missoula County. Now there's some encouraging news from the University of Washington's Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation. It has drastically dropped the number of projected deaths in Montana from 268 to 22. It also shows the peak resource needed for hospitals moved from April 26th to April 13th. New statistics from the State Health Department show of the total number of cases, close to half are men, half are women.
Gallatin, Madison, and Park counties are teaming up resources for a coordinated rapid response and assistance for the coronavirus outbreak. More than 35 community organizations, businesses, nonprofits, and people will share skills and abilities and avoid duplicating efforts. Southwest Montana COAD, which stands for Community Organizations Active in Disasters, was formed in June of 2018. Co-chair Susan Spaniel says the group is trained and planned for years, but this is the first time it's been activated. As of April 1st, the Southwest Montana COVID-19 Response Fund has raised nearly $200,000 for efforts throughout the region. You can use the 211 hotline for emotional and mental health support. Also the website montana211.org.
Back here at home now, personal protective equipment is in high demand for those fighting in the front line of the coronavirus battle. MTN's Gabby Crevitt has a story on how members of the community are stepping up to make sure local healthcare professionals are staying safe.
Many in the community know Simms as a local manufacturer of fly fishing equipment and apparel. And just a few short weeks ago, this facility totally changed the way it operates, all to help those fighting on the front line against the coronavirus outbreak.
We aren't faced with these challenges often. For them to make something for us that we feel like there was a lot of labor and love that went into it is pretty awesome.
It all started off with the need for personal protective equipment as the coronavirus made its way to Gallatin County. So Bozeman Health reached out to Simms Fishing Products to see if they could lend a hand. Simms is now manufacturing high-quality, CDC-approved, reusable medical gowns for healthcare professionals fighting the virus.
Essentially, our factory is closed. Making waders is not essential, but making medical gowns is essential. And so Governor Bullock has given us the green light to make these gowns, whether they're for Bozeman Health or any other customers around Montana.
Bozeman Health says the effort was made possible by numerous people in the community, from the financial support of the Yellowstone Club Community Foundation and the Arthur M. Blank Foundation, to, of course, the employees at Simms stepping up during the stay-at-home directive.
The sense of urgency from the medical community is so great that for us to be able to fulfill their needs is really, I would say, it's one of our proudest moments.
The CEO of Bozeman Health says the sense of pride is felt by healthcare workers as well.
Watching our teams in action, caring compassionately for those that they serve on a daily basis, but knowing that there is this badge of local pride that they're wearing, to me, is spectacular.
Reporting in Bozeman, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
Time now 6:34 in the mining city. Concerned for their health, some Montana Treatment Center inmates are taking action. MTN's John Amy tells us the details.
An attorney for an inmate at the Watch program, which is a treatment facility for felony DUI offenders, tried to get his client released due to fear of exposure to the coronavirus. The petitioner, Chase Smith, was sentenced to the Watch program for a felony driving under the influence charge in Gallatin County. He claims it's impossible to social distance himself in the facility due to the number of inmates.
Just the way the facility is set up, there's no possible way you can keep 6 feet of distance from fellow inmates. It just doesn't work.
Court documents also allege that more inmates were admitted into the Watch program after the governor's stay-at-home order was issued.
Every time they let in, 5 or 9 new people, and those people aren't tested for COVID, but they're put into a population of, 100 or more people who have not otherwise been exposed to it. And so there's just a huge question mark as to whether or not those people are bringing in COVID to incarcerated populations.
Watson adds, this issue isn't just about the Watch program. It's a concern at other correctional facilities as well.
We're not trying to point fingers at people who are, we presume, trying to do their best in a time of crisis. We're just saying this facility isn't designed to handle this kind of crisis.
In Warm Springs, John Amy, MTN News.
And the director of the Watch program did not immediately return a message for comment about this complaint.
Staying in the mining city, for the first time, police there cited a person for violating the state social distancing order. Resident in the 500 block South Main Street accused of having a party at his residence with at least 15 people present. That was late Sunday night. The unnamed resident was given a misdemeanor citation for obstructing a peace officer. Police say the resident was given 2 prior warnings in recent days.
Time now 6:36. April is Child Abuse Awareness Month and Strengthening Families Month here in Montana. Previous years would see volunteers filling the state capitol lawn with hundreds of pinwheels, but due to COVID-19, some changes are underway. This year, people are encouraged to make pinwheel art and display it at home and digitally challenge 5 others to go blue on Monday. Melissa Lavender with the Montana Children's Trust Fund says COVID-19 is creating a challenging situation for lots of families and urges people to raise awareness and help where they can.
Food, shelter, clothes, water, childcare. With those things not being readily accessible for many, many families, stresses are high.
And the Montana Children's Trust Fund received a $10,000 Blue Cross Blue Shield donation for the virtual campaign and to help raise awareness.
6:37 now. One serious side effect of the coronavirus pandemic is that thousands of Americans who had surgery scheduled are now being told they may need to wait weeks or even months for their procedures. CBS's Michael George spoke with one of them.
Tim Libby knew right away something was very wrong when he woke up in the middle of the night.
Started having some nausea and vomiting and abdominal pain, and that kind of concerned me.
Tim went to an Atlanta emergency room and was diagnosed with an inflamed appendix. Doctors told him because elective surgeries are canceled during the coronavirus, for now they would treat him with antibiotics and monitor him.
Under any normal circumstances, we would do this procedure right away and take your appendix out. But given the circumstances, our strategy has changed.
Hospitals across the country are canceling elective surgeries, from knee replacements to cancer biopsies, as the coronavirus spreads.
The recovery rooms that a lot of these elective surgeries need are actually going to be needed and are currently being used for patients with COVID.
Dr. Ali Raja is the Executive Vice Chair of Emergency Medicine at Massachusetts General Hospital. He says not only does canceling these surgeries free up more beds, staff, and equipment for COVID patients, the measure protects vulnerable patients from being exposed to the coronavirus.
I know that's frustrating, but I have to tell you, this is really not the time that you want to be in the hospital getting an elective surgery.
Tim says doctors told him it may be 4 to 6 weeks before he gets his appendectomy. He says it's a tough pill to swallow, but he understands why it's necessary.
My pain is bearable, and I'm overall healthy, and I'm home. So I'm willing to do that in order to have some, leave that bed open or whatever for somebody else who really needs it.
So for now, Tim and thousands of other patients will just have to wait it out. Michael George, CBS News.
By the way, that ban on elective procedures could also financially hit hospitals hard, according to experts. It could potentially even force some smaller hospitals to close. Yeah, the reality is some of those smaller facilities, that's really kind of what they make their bread and butter on, is some of those procedures and that's gone. Crazy stuff.
I know, and I mean, good for him for saying, I know I have to have this done, but I'm willing to wait, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are scared, not knowing how long it's really going to be. 4 to 6 weeks could be a long time to wait, but
that's it. If it's an emergency, though,
that's what's necessary.
If it is an emergency, don't wait, though. Do call.
Yes, exactly. If it's an emergency, you got to get there.
That's a fact. 6:40 now, we're going to take a break. Americans already seeing aid from the coronavirus aid package, but could more help soon be on the way? We'll find out next. But first, here's what's coming up at 7 on CBS This Morning.
Ahead on CBS This Morning, we're in London with the latest on British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who's still in intensive care fighting coronavirus. Also, commercial labs here in the United States are struggling to process coronavirus tests. Hear from one man who waited over a week to get his results. Plus, only on CBS This Morning, we debut a video collaboration of Broadway stars reminding us you've got a friend. And Oprah, as in Winfrey, shares her new book club selection. The author will join us. We'll see you at 7.